Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, 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 and hello. Domentarian, Collie, and Sebastian. For the first three people here, welcome back to the stream. Today, of course, we're going to be continuing the Vz-235 build, which is the wrong way round. There we go. So, yeah, last time, obviously, we kind of finished off the bed assembly, which is this whole lot. Well, it's not really the bed, I suppose, but the Z axis, which holds the bed. So I did a little tweaking of the assembly after the live stream. I wasn't totally happy with how I'd done the assembly. It didn't seem to align quite right, and that was all just kind of my fault, really. Just tiny little process things. It's really important, the order in which you tighten things. And I sort of, I don't know, in the middle of the stream, got confused about what I tightened and when I tightened it. So after the stream, I just kind of went back, loosened everything, and kind of re-tightened in a much better order. And now, like, it was really easy to, it literally took me another 5 or 10 minutes. And now it's, I'd say, perfect all the way, top to bottom, nice and smooth. No jumping or stuttering or weird noises or anything like that. I've also added a bit of grease, so hopefully that just doesn't end up on my hands between now and the end of the build. Special hello, of course, to Sebastian and Lars there as YouTube members. Thank you very much for your continued support. It's very much appreciated. And hello, hello, hello to Make a Viking. Oh, Astumesti. I'm struggling with that name, but welcome. And Nick. So the plan for today is to do that. I mean, basically the thing that goes on here. So we've got the aluminium carriage, which is kind of like a cage, which sort of fits around here, and the hot end, an extruder on top, and then a cooling thing at the back. For my build, so this thing comes with the CPAP, which is basically a blower fan that sits at the back, and a tube that comes over which carries the airflow down to the hot end. And that allows you to have a really high power fan come out right in the right place. But because my plan is to have this printer fully enclosed, that system I don't think is quite as suitable for a fully enclosed setup. It's more for maybe ultra fast printing, but not fully enclosed, I think. I mean, I guess in theory you could run the tube maybe inside and it would still work. But I think the intention is maybe not so much with fully enclosed. I'm not totally sure. We'll get some clarification on that at some point. I've been in touch with Simon, but not heard back today, so we may not be seeing him on the stream. He's probably busy with work and such. So, yeah, so that's pretty much the plan. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any instructions. So the only thing we've really got to... Oh, CPAP works well for fully enclosed. So, okay, I might have got a bit confused then. So, this is the assembly that we're doing. Okay, looks like we will be doing CPAP for fully enclosed then. Excuse, I know it looks like I'm just looking completely not on the stream. I have a laptop over here which is running the CAD. It's better to run it on a separate computer for me, because so it doesn't overload the machine that's doing the actual stream. So of course we've got like the main carriage, which is this kind of aluminium light colored parts in here, and then we have, this is obviously the CPAP tube up the back, which brings your airflow from outside the printer down this tube down around the hot end. We've got these the big Chungus Goliath hot end on the front here with the cooler. Oh, you can't really see it. There's a small heatsink in there with the fan on the front. And we got the extruder sitting up the top, which obviously is what we're trying to stick all together today. So yeah, I've not assembled anything quite like this before. Obviously, it's kind of, I think it's based on the Rat Rig Ever system a little bit. So there may be some similarities, but I mean, it's looking from a distance, it's basically a completely redesigned carriage. So it may not be super easy for me to get this right first time, so please just bear with me today as I do my best to work this out as I go. I've not really checked things before I've started. So, not too sure exactly what order to start with. I think we need to assemble it onto the printer we'll see. Let's just get a bunch of parts out to begin with and see how they might go together. So fingers crossed, most of the bits that I'm going to need I will have acquired down here. So probably not going to need this bit for a while, but this is the fan. It's a very dinky little fan. We've got the belts, so belts we'll be putting on today, hopefully as well. I think we can do those at the end, like after we've fitted the carriage. We have the extruder here in black, which looks very nice. Got the kind of helical gears. We've got some end stops. I need to maybe fit an end stop to my bed part that I did last week. This looks like most of these parts that we'll be needing today. Let's pour all of those out. We've got the hot end here. Nope, that's power. We don't need that right now. There's a bunch of little cables in here which will be for connecting the power up. But we don't need those right now. Yes, this is for the wrong part, and I don't think we need that either. But we do need this. Unfortunately, it's not going to be easy to remove the heater cables, so we'll just have to deal with that as we go. That's fine. No nozzle attached at the moment. There is a nozzle somewhere. I've definitely seen it. I thought it was in here, actually. It's in this bag with the thermistor, which we don't need right now. So I think we'll just leave them here for now. Hopefully that'll be okay. So hair is taken from the inside of the chamber. That makes a lot of sense. So for those that don't know, it's obviously when you've got an enclosed temperature, when you've got an enclosed chamber, it's important to manage thermals. So if you've got a cooling fan and you've got a lot of like air throughput, you don't want to take a load of cold air from the outside and stick it in your heated volume, because you're just going to cool the entire chamber down, which is not really what you want to do. You just want focused cooling around the top layers of your print. So by having it pulled from the inside, it's just circulating air at the same temperature that's already there, rather than taking from new bits. I don't think we need this for now. So it looks like we've got a bunch of kind of flat head screws here, like a low profile cap head. So I recall seeing some of those in the kit, so hopefully I can find those now. I think one thing that might be nice for the assemblies here, for the screws, is to bag them by the assembly that they're for. It's probably a bit of a pain to deal with. I don't know. It seems like a good idea, because I could then just get the bag for doing this. So I'm looking for some M2 screws to attach my end stop switches, which I forgot to get out. Peanuts. Here's some M2 screws. I thought I saw these low profile screws in here before. Where did I see them? There's some in here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, afternoon. Yes, so 2.5 by 6. That looks like the 4, because this is quite specific by the looks of it. And maybe that's for this as well. Self-tapping screws. I'm assuming the self-tapping screws are going to be for the fan. Maybe? Oh no, they're probably not long enough for the fan. No, they're not for the fan. Let's just give these a try. So this is our top frame here. And it looks like those are going to go through there, potentially into one of these posts. So that is a negative on that because those threads go through there. So it's definitely not that screw. Looks like we need M3 then, because those are M2.5. So there should be a bag of M3 screws. Here we go. By 16, M3 by 8. So those are profile, those are low profile. I assume that's generally what, there's so many different screw types and sizes. We've got flat heads, button heads, cap heads, all the different heads. You won't be able to share a link. I've turned off links. If you're in the Vector 3D GitHub, Vector 3D Discord, you could share it there. Right. So we've got M3 by 6 and M3 by 8. So let's have a, if we bring up this, we'll just have a quick look at what these screws are. So this one here, M3 by 6, M3 by 6, M3 by 6. Oh, no, that's too much. Oh dear, what have I done now? So we've got those going down, that's going down. Then we've got this part which holds the hot end, and these are going, presumably some going up. So we've got M3 by 6 going up. There's also going to be aha, those are the M2.5. So we can do that maybe first. I don't need to take that off. So just checking where the heater comes out in this, so we can get that top plate the correct orientation. Aha! Printhead CNC, excellent. Okay, so maybe we'll just follow this now that we've we're going to need some printed parts, which hopefully I've got everything I need. So we've got a duct, although this doesn't look quite like the right one. Oh, oh dear. I think this might be a bit short. Oh no, this will be all right. So we've got a duct. We've got a top ductor, which is going to attach on there, I believe. Had a bit of trouble printing that one, but I think it'll be okay. I think we might need this, and we might need this. And we might need this, that's for the cold side. We might need that. Need this. And this. Okay. I think that's most of what we need for now. How can I share this window? Let's put this up separately. Okay, so this is where the assembly instructions are. I'll share the link just in case anybody needs it. Right, hopefully we can do this today without any cock-ups. I realized I don't have, I need to add the instructions to this. Let's see if we can do that. DI source, unexisting. Ta-da! Oh. It's a bit small probably, but maybe better than nothing. Right. It's a slow start, but we'll get there. So, we have this piece. 3x6 ultra low profile. So we bolt this on. So there's a little notch on the bottom here, and that goes, by the looks of it, away from here. And then we need this. So that will then go this way around on here, like so. Hmm. The screw heads are a little bit wide for... they might just go in. The screw heads are kind of colliding a bit. Okay, well, it's on. That's pretty stiff. It doesn't look quite straight. Oh, maybe it does. It's really difficult to tell. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. Next step. The top plate. So, obviously, partway through here, we can't... if we complete this assembly with the block, we're not going to be able to put it on. Loctite. Okay. Let's go back a bit. Sorry, checking 3 screens at the same time, and it's just... I presume these two specifically because you have no access to them after the fact. If we have... presumably they're going to need to be button head rather than the cap head due to their size. Do we have any M3x6 button heads? Here's some. So I'll get a little bit more width available with those. And we'll get the Loctite in here. Yes. Do-be-do-do. Okie dokie. They feel a lot nicer. So I think we put this on here and then like the whole thing onto there. I think that should work. And we're using more of these M3x6. It's about everything but the top plate. Put the top plate on the MGM rail, then assemble the rest to it. Okay. So we want bottom plate. Let's do the bottom plate. How about that? I'm tempted to put Loctite on all of them, you know, but I shall refrain. Just in case I do it wrong. No, it's not. It's only blue Loctite, but And then we want those little arms. So these are not symmetrical, so we've got to make sure we get them the right way up. So we've got one way up and one t'other way up. So with this way round, we have one with a oh, this is in the... Okay, they're different. They're not... So this one goes here. So I think these slots are what's going to hold our belt a little bit later on. So on here you got, you can see the wide part is a little bit longer on this end. So that's what I'm using to try and work out, to make sure I put it the right way up. So that extra thick part, or the extra long wide part, I mean, that goes towards the top. Let's use this piece as an alignment because that one's not quite square. It worked quite well there on the table. That seems okay. So then that will basically go up here, and we put the top plate on the top. So we need up here. So we've got, this is the part where the hot end mounts, so we need this part towards the front of the printer, and then these slots are what mount to the carriage. Like tighten these two, you reckon? We can do it. I think Simon said he didn't, but there's no harm in putting a bit on, I don't think. Oh dear. This is why we want steel screws and not stainless steel screws. Too long? It seems fine. I'm pretty sure these are all 6mm. I mean, the plate's like 3mm. Have I put it on upside down? Maybe I've put it on upside down. Ah, yes, there's recesses in the other side. Okay, do we have any M3x4 screws? M3x6. I don't think I've ever used an M3x4mm screw. M3x6, by 16, by 4, 3x12, by 35, by 25. I don't recall seeing any M3x4 screws. There's some M2.5 screws. M3x8. Part of the Printhead package. There was nothing, I didn't have a package marked Printhead, I don't think. Four 4mm pin, T-nuts, other nuts, M3x10, M5x25, M4, magnets, 2 different size magnets, M5x12, M3 nuts, M4x10, various M4 screws, 4x12, M4 bar, 4x20, M4x8, M4 nut, M3x10, by 25, 3x12. I mean, these are all long. Oh, it would be helpful if you could see what I'm doing. Yeah, these are all long. 2.5 by 6 and 2.6 by 8. And 3 by 6 button heads and 4 M2 screws. There's 4 M3 by 8s. Yeah, there's definitely no M3 by 4. And I don't think I own any M3 by 4 either. Let's just have a quick check. I mean, I'm sure you're right if these are too long. We'll have a go just to be certain. Yeah, that seems to fit. Fuck. That seems to be okay. So maybe not the intended length, but those are M3 by 6 and they seem to work. Yeah, there's 4 screws in. They're flush with the top. They seem to be tight. There's no wiggle room, and it moves fine. So, oh no, we need the camera back up here. Now we must join the carriage to the printer. Focus is going all over the place, isn't it? Can we get focus here? I think part of it is because it's all black, it's struggling to find the contrast to be able to focus on it. I need some accent colors to focus on the blue bit. There we go. So M3x6 and 2M2. So I've got the little mount thing. Let's go get those end stop switches. So we'll try and do the bed one as well. We should have some M2 screws. I had them just now. Yep. So 2 are longer than the other 2. We've got 2 10s and 2 8s. It doesn't suggest a particular length for this one. I don't remember from last time which length we used. $8mm M3. It just says M2 screws. $6mm. I don't have 6mm. I have M2x8 and M2x10. 6 is not an option. So we've got this end stop thing here. So these are fixed length. Let's so we can put M10 there or M10 here. I think both would be fine. I'm probably more inclined to use the 10 on this small carriage. So we've got a very small carrier for the I don't think there's an aluminium version of this at the moment. So it goes this way up, and the switch goes on the bottom, so it goes like this. There it is. It's on. It's not. Doesn't feel super secure, but it's definitely on. And then we've got 2 screws for the Z end stop switch as well. So these are a little bit shorter. Although they probably needn't be. I think the 10mm screws would be fine. So let's just give it a quick test. I'm just going to check that our switch here contacts where we need it to. Ah, we got a, yes, we have to put the screw in here. This is our Z end stop screw. So that should miss at the moment, which it does. So that's actually good. And then we should have a long screw. So an M3 by 50mm screw. So hopefully we can find one of those. M3 by 35. M3 by 50 seems longer than it needs to be. I don't think we need that much. Oh, I suppose for different hot ends, you've got different lengths, so that would be wise to have plenty of adjustment available. M3 by 35. What's this? M3 by 35. M3 by 40 countersunk, but I feel like there's exactly 4 of those, and they're going to be used for the bed. I think. Might have to grab a separate M5 by 50. I think I have one somewhere. Sorry, I mean M3 by 50. That's M3 by 40. Maybe M3 by 40 will be enough. I've lost chat. Where's chat gone? Here we go. So we want M3 nut to go on here as well. I think I need to go get one of those too. Sorry if you're able to hear printing in the background, by the way. I accidentally started a printer this morning, forgetting that I was doing a stream. So we've got a screw with a nut on it. So this will be our adjustment. We stick that through there. So we can set the screw to where we want it and then tighten the nut down against the screw once we've got the screw in the position we need, and that will hold it secure. Basically a locking nut. So I don't know exactly what height we'll need at the moment, but that should contact said end stop switch like that. So let's get back to where we were. Zip. Zip. So I think 2 M3x6 screws. I think we have the same. The heads are a little bit close, but we're just about alright, I think. Get our end stop switch mounted just here. I think that's right. There's 3 holes there. Which ones am I using? The 2 back ones. We're going to need some space for wiring at some point, so I don't know when I'm going to add those on. Remove this rubber stop now, I think. Yep. So that contacts this little black part at the end here. Very smooth. Nice. I wish I had more cameras. Need more cameras. Must acquire more cameras. Cameras is actually the easy bit. It's capturing them and sending them all to the computer, which is less easy. Install the rear adjustable fan mount. 2 M3x8s and 2 M3 nuts. So I think we used all the M3 nuts in a... Because I think there was only like 4 or 5. Oh no. There's loads. Okay, cool. So 2 of those. We've got this happy chappy to... It'd be better if the arms were like both pointing upwards. So we've got recesses for the screws. Let's turn the around. Was it M3x8 or 2x6 for the new version of the mount that has a groove for the M3 nuts? I don't think mine has a groove for the M3 nuts. So mine will be M3x8. So we're going to get this on here, this on here, and this on the back. Oh. Disaster has struck. Even the nuts are not magnetic. Of course, yes. The arms are for the 5015. So adjustable height, we'll just stick it anywhere for now. Install a belt. So make sure the motor mounts are the lowest tension possible first. Start the front, insert the end of the belt through the side slot and loop the belt on itself. Insert a piece of filament in the loop and then slowly pull the belt back in the slot until for the back, simply loop the belt around the pillar and give it a pre-tension on the belt, then attach it with a zip tie or a printed belt clip. Okay, I'm almost instantly confused. Howdy, Steve. Everyone say, hello, Steve. I don't want to watch the video on the stream though. Oh, Steve, that's very kind of you. So, we want some filamente. Probably want some ABS filamente or some nylon filamente. Oh. Oh. Do I keep catching my mic? Do people keep getting wax? I feel like it's catching on something. I just can't see what it is because I can't actually see the microphone. It's very difficult to get it in the right place. Gifted 5 memberships as well. Steve, you're too generous. Thank you very much. And a donation from Simon as well. This is crazy. Crazy days. Thank you, Simon. Very much appreciated. So we only need 2 6mm lengths, so a tiny amount of filament should be all we need. So, Gates belt. So I'm assuming this belt now will be just the X and Y / AB. So we don't need to cut it into more than 2 pieces. So I think if we find the middle and whack it in half, that would be all right. It looks like we've got more than we need here. This looks very, very long. This is probably long enough for the 330 build as well. It's probably at least 4 meters of belt. Oh, now I'm... Cutting this in half should be fine, right? I think I'll have other belts if I need them. I don't think I do. So, insert the end of the belt through the side slot. Okay, this is the video. I don't know if that audio is going to come through. It probably isn't.
Obviously, and 80 centimeters. You'll be fine if you have.
Steve's got the same problem as me. Like, you build small printers not because you want small printers, but because you need somewhere to put them, and the chance of finding somewhere increases the smaller that printer is. Trying to find somewhere for huge printers is just impossible.
It will be without the hot end because you'll have it like so. I can zoom in on itself. You don't want it. You could bring it for a bit more. You could up it about here on the filament. A bit hard, and it's going to sit perfectly in there, and it's a bit more tricky to do.
Okay. So I think we know how to put the belt in. Let's give it a go. So this goes in here. It's got a... Presumably the length of this doesn't matter too much. I mean, they want it needs to be longer than really the width of the belt, or approximately equal to the width of the belt. It's a very efficient. I get nervous about it being ABS filament. If that was just a small piece of stainless steel or something, I'd probably feel a little more comfortable, but it's very, it's space efficient. That's for sure. So, get this about around here. M2 screw. I've done something wrong there. This is how it is in the video, but I think it needs to be the other way around. I think it needs to be pointing inwards, because that's got to go over this. So if it's coming this way and running around there, then the teeth are going to be pointing outwards. And the teeth need to be inwards. I think that's right. That goes there. Something doesn't feel right here. Yes, flip the belt. Okay, yeah. So it's the same thing, but we want to put this in here, bring it back, put in our little piece of filament, curl it back over, Go back through the gap. I'm going to need to pokey a thing in here, I think. We pokey a thing in, and then pokey the belt in, and then pull that out. Ta-da! And stick the belt through here. So that's then got to go back over here. That's got to be right. And then through here, back through here, back through here. And then we got, how do I do this one? That's not so easy. Any tips? I can't get that back through. Just put it in. Suppose we go in from the front. Yeah, I'm trying to put a kink in the belt, but I mean, I was trying to go inside out. That was my initial goal. I tried to like put a kink in the end, but I tried to kink it and it straightens back up. Take care, Steve. See you soon. There's like no way I'm getting that back in there, is there? Hmm. I feel like I'm making a bit of a meal of this. Pairs of tweezers makes it easy. Top tip, use some tweezers. Oh, and I need the little belt clamp thing. So I've printed 5, I think. That's hopefully one more than we need. That's going to need to go in there before that, isn't it? What do you mean by a bit out of alignment? Yes, I see, maybe. Is it that I need that to align with this and now I can't? Can slide them both up together. Right, I'm just going to put the other belt in while I'm doing belts, and then we'll work out how to make sure they're both tight in a second. At the moment, I'm not entirely sure how we're going to achieve it. We'll get a bunch of length out the front, so we've got some both ends. Right, it goes this way. Comes through here. And then round this last pulley. Through the belt clip. And then use the tweezers to stick it through the carriage. Right, let's have another quick look before I
Let's just do it. Hey, it makes it ton easier when you do the front idler here. Don't know if it's easier on you. Just here. Again, and you're done. Super easy stuff. That's what it can do. That's going to affect the length if you're not correctly seated inside the pulley. Like here, I have.
yeah, so this is going to be obviously the other way around, but is it the belt method is similar, isn't it? Or did you share another link in this chat? Oh, okay. Well, I feel like what I was doing should work, right? If I lock these off at the back, yeah, using these belt clips. I can cut obviously the rest, the spare off here, and then I just have to pull these tight at the front.
you do? Yeah, what they are, and then you put it in the slot facing with the smooth side. There you go. So put it in the slot like so.
Oh, so you go from back to front.
Just
That's what I did initially because I couldn't get it in the other way. So you're saying the belt won't be... I think it kind of self-aligns a little bit anyway.
since I'm not,
It's going to be,
since there's only one
at
belt
worst,
for
a millimeter off.
this, so what I like to do, I bring, switch to wide angle. I bring all the carriage at the rear. That way, I'm sure I'm not pulling too much tension to break that square.
I'm in the 3030 video. This is the link you shared, is it not? In the instructions, there's a separate link. Here we go. For 235, you can use two techniques to in this video. Okay. In fact, while I'm doing this, I'm just going to see if I can get the audio from this NDI as well. Tools, output settings.
I thought I would skip this and not film this step, but it's very different than the VZ-330. And the video I have is for the VZ-330. Even though this is the same principle and same print head, it's going to be way different because the way that this system works, the bell turn around differently. So you have this idler here, so it's just going to be different. So I did it once, and it was not easy, but I've learned how to do it, and I'm going to show you a couple tips on how to save you from a headache, because it's not easy, but at the same time, it's not hard with the tips that I'm going to show you.
So I think you should all be able to hear this video through the laptop now. Let me know if you can't.
First thing first is to attach the front of the print head. But before we do this, the first thing we need to do is to wrap around the bell in the front motor. And the easiest way to do it, because if you start from here and go there, and wrap it around there, you're gonna have an issue. The easiest way to go here, and we've made the part here with a little round that's gonna guide the bell all the way through. So you start with that, and I'm gonna move the camera with a better angle, so that way you can see it. But first, before we do this, you're So yeah, on the VZ330, the belt will come in the back from the smooth side. On this one, it comes with from the toothed side. So it's different, and we didn't want to have two different type of printhead, aluminum printhead on the two printers. And this is my preferred one. It's gonna use these type of belt, the belt inside the slot, and you make it go all the way across that back plate, and you make sure that all idlers belt is going inside all the idlers properly. This one's good. This is good. One here, it's not run for that, so don't worry. And now you just wrap it around like so, and you bring your clip like that, and that side is done. Now, the other way around, well, let me just mention that if you do it this way, you need about 150 millimeter, 150 centimeter of belt. If you do it the other way, that I'm going to show you, you need 140. You can mount the belt, but 100 and first part.
Oh, so this is the two-part clip. I don't have one of the two-part clips, so I think we'll do it the first way.
In the slot, the belt like that. You can see on this. Thank you. Probably half the 30. Not do it, but so the things that amount of belt. Leave it like you're gonna use this front. So in front.
Okay, so we need to try and do this. I understand now. And that makes more sense. That means I can fix the front. So let's go back to how we had that. We've lost our bits of filament. Oh, let's cut some more. Okay. So let's pull that. Hopefully you could see what I was doing there. Pull that forward. Let's go around the back. I think what we're going to do is take this off. I think this was installed a little bit prematurely. Right, let's make sure all these top belts are on the correct pulleys. Let's do this side. Let's sort this side out first as well, because we need to pull that tension through. Oh. How am I going to get this microphone on my head to stay somewhere suitable? Right. Now will be a good time to check everything is correctly seated on the pulleys. The heights of our pulleys definitely need some adjustment, but that will be fine. We can do that in a bit. Oh, we've missed this one here. Right, one last check. Front, yes. Front, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the gantry. 1, 2, 3 in that pocket. 1, 2, 3 in that pocket. So now we just want to cut the belt length to be about somewhere that goes through here. I'm probably going to cut them a bit long to begin with, just so I can fix if I do it a bit wrong. Because having the belt too long will cause problems, so you do need to have it pretty short. Can't get there through there now. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. I've got my belts aligned. What a wonderful day. Right. That took a little longer than I thought it would. But we got it looking pretty good now. Obviously, the motion won't be like easy to move now because you've got 4 motors that are all connected. So you've got a lot of inertia as you're trying to rotate things. My belt tension is very different for the 2 sides, but I'm sure we can sort that as we go. That's more of a tune it later on sort of thing. Let's finish this. Oh. It would probably be ideal if the belts were exactly the same length. It's not always that easy to do. Do I want to take them all off and reroute them to get them the same length though? Not particularly right now. Unfortunately, I don't have any rum. So we'll have to do with sugary water at the moment. Right. This fan duct looks... Oh, this looks like the 5010 fan duct. So what I'm going to be doing, I think, is one of these. Does this use heatset inserts? It looks like it might, given the hole sizes. It would be like the only 2 on the build, but I think it does. Oh, I can show you a new thing that I've been working on then. I have to get my soldering station. I mean, this is maybe not the best demo of my machine, but I'm going to do it anyway, because why the hell not? See, normally when I'm using my heatset insert press, I have it set up, ready to do that, in the corner over here, which you can't see. But I want to show you a little prototype upgrade that I've been working on, which may be coming to a shop near you soon. I've got loads of things plugged in, and I've run out of plugs. I don't know what's connected. So a quick side step. So obviously this is VLMP. This is like one I did out of shiny parts that I've not actually used, but this is an example of what it would typically look like, just so you can see the difference in a minute when I use the other one. So the grip would normally be here, and you do this, and you do the thing, and it retracts. Obviously this one's not got a grip sorted, and the counterweight's not set up, and all this kind of stuff. But you get the point. This is a new base. So one of the troubles that some people had, it depends how you use it. For me, I quite like this design because it gives you basically infinite space to use it. It means you can kind of move it around the desk and slide it wherever you need it, do the heat set, and it retracts. But in some cases, some people found this a little bit unstable. Like, it's quite a wide base, but if you press it in a particularly different place, or you press with force or something, it can feel a little bit unstable. And I think the main reason for that is that the moving part is not connected to what you're pressing against. So I came up with this. I went through a bunch of different sheet materials like wood and aluminium and iron, like steel plates and all this kind of stuff. But the problem with all those things is they're really quite expensive. Like if you were making it yourself, you could just like bolt it to any piece of wood. That's kind of fine. But when you think that you have screws to the bottom, and then you'd want a counter bore, and then you've got processors to do that, it ends up quite expensive just to make a flat base. And then it ends up quite heavy, and you have to ship it and all this kind of stuff. It's actually not that simple to do cost effectively. So what I've got with this design is basically a PCB. And that's what forms like the majority of the base. It's nice and flat, it's stable, it's cost efficient, all this kind of stuff. There's nothing sticking out the top, it's all perfectly smooth, so there's no screws coming up all the way through. And then on the underneath, we just have a printed part, and that helps reinforce it. I'm working on developing this printed structure to help it like be a little bit extra rigid, but it works pretty well. And that just means as you're pressing your inserts against, obviously this has not got any in, but as you're doing it, however hard you push, you're always going to be pushing against the base rather than against the surface, so it will make it feel a lot more stable. So yeah, this is just a prototype design I'm working on at the moment. I've got some extra holes in the back, so we've got space for like mounting maybe somewhere to hold your inserts if that's something you want to do. Or like various tips and stuff like that. So yeah, this is an upgrade design. It'll be probably available separately. I'm tempted to put some extra holes in here so you could, for maybe people that want to do lots of the same part. I know there's businesses that have bought this device and they're like heat setting a lot of the same parts. So you could like maybe print a jig and screw it to this. And that way when you're doing something like this, you can press it into the jig and it will hold it in the right place, as opposed to what I have at the moment where like I just have to hold this straight because there's no like flat face for it to be connected on. Yeah, I was thinking maybe having some better belt retention here. It's not a problem. You can see like if you tune, so the whole point of this, the way I did this, obviously it's lots of kind of low cost parts because I didn't want a single block that you couldn't adjust. By having loads of washers like this, you can adjust this weight as much or as little as you need to match the weight of your soldering iron so that it won't jump off. Like this belt won't jump off under normal use because it retracts nice and slowly. It's super consistent and it will do the same thing again and again and again and again. Obviously, this version where I've just put on all the washers because I was just doing like a YouTube short or something, like it's not tuned at all. So when I do that, obviously it jumps up. You can see it jump up, even if it doesn't jump like off. You can see it. There you go, and it came off. But that's just because it's not being built properly. If you build it properly, it's not a problem. But yeah, I see what you mean. I might try and look at a way to feed the belt through. It just makes the whole assembly process a little bit more difficult though, because you have to put this piece on and then kind of feed the belt through it to get through to here. And then you've got to screw this like from the, at the moment it screws in from the back, so you can't do it like, maybe just this, maybe you'd have like a cover that comes through and you can push this in from the side. So I might find a way to do it. We'll have a look. Personally, I think if you set it up just right, it's never a problem. But anyway, that was a bit of a tangent because that's not what I was intending to talk about today. I've barely used this at all yet, so I don't know if I prefer it yet. We shall see. It's just literally in a kind of testing stage at the moment. This looks like Ever size rather than Voron size. That's really hot. It's based on Ever, so I would kind of expect that. So let's go get the heatset inserts for Rat Rig, which are unfortunately a slightly different, slightly smaller size. Most of the time it's not a problem, but if you're like me and you have both of those machines, it's kind of annoying to have to store two very similar but different size of heatset insert. And I've not labeled, well, I've not got around to labeling the box which has them in yet, so I have to search through every box looking for them. Right. Yeah, basically a side note about this, it's not intended to be heavy, it's intended to be cost effective. Because, I mean, this machine is designed to be not super expensive. Like, yeah, you can make super expensive ones and spend loads of money on them, but if you can do, in my mind, a well-engineered tool is one that's both practically efficient and cost effective. Anyone can design something that costs £1 million, but that's not necessarily useful. These seem very similar size, but hopefully will fit nicely. Ta-da! I'm planning for the Mark 1 kit to still be the same. If I make any changes to the design, my intention is to keep the hardware, like the purchased off-the-shelf parts, exactly the same. Any upgrades will be things that you can buy separately and add onto it, like this base. So the printed base will be standard. If there's an upgrade kit which includes this base, which, I mean, is a prototype for now. It may not ever happen. If I find that actually it's useless or costs way too much or something, then it won't happen. But this is the idea at the moment. So this would come with everything you need, like all the hardware with the PCB, and maybe you print the part yourself or an optional printed part that comes with it. But yeah, the V1 kit I'm planning to keep as it is. Any changes will be printed parts for version 2. That's the plan. Hopefully I can achieve that. I mean, V2's not in a big rush at the moment because V1 has been nice and successful. There's not been many comments with anyone having issues about things, so I've been really happy with it. We'll make some little changes, but not too much. Anyway, where were we? Sounds like a solid plan. Good. I'm glad you think so. I thought so too. It means that people, like, I don't want people to have bought a V1 kit and then go, oh no, I've got to buy a new one. It's like, it's not. That doesn't make me feel good about my designs if I've sold however many I've sold and then people have to go buy the whole thing again just to get some small upgrades like this. I mean, I think the base is pretty cool upgrade, to be honest, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that smartphone thing where you end up buying a whole new thing every year. I don't think many people do that anymore, but you know what I mean. So, this is going on here. This is going on here. And this is going on here. And then I guess this is going on here. And then this goes on here. Do we also have this go on here? I don't know what this does. Well, beacon's not part of the kit, so I've not added parts beyond what's included in the kit, because I want to give a fair representation of the kit, you know? I think we need some slightly longer screws to do this bit. I don't know if there's... I did have the 3D CAD open at one point, but I don't know where that's gone. I don't think I have that anymore, unless it's here. Aha! Here it is. Yeah, okay, that's pretty much right. Obviously, the tube's got to go on pretty much after everything's assembled. Six mil going to be enough here? I don't think it is. No. Oh, this is all my M3 screws now. Excuse me. Oh, I've got sniffles again. I don't know if it's ABS or what. I'm back in a second. Right. Hopefully that's is fine now. So, let's try and get this in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. So we're using M3x10 screws here. Looks to be about the right length for this. Not that easy to hold all the pieces in the same place at the same time, but we managed it. It's not too difficult. Oh, there's a gap. Well, that's not right then, is it? No, they're going to stack the other way. Okie dokie. So you got to put that. It goes through here first, and then through this, like so. and then through this. Hey, okay. So that's our duct. So I think that actually clips around here like so. And need some M3 nuts. What do I do with those? Here they are. Just realized. I need to open these holes. I think mine's filled with the bridge material, which, no, the support materials all stuck in there. Let's get a small drill bit and open up that hole. Very, very carefully. Next, this way, like so, like so. Another M3x10, and then a nut on the back. I'll get that part sorted. Sort of have access to the back here, so. But I don't think we'll have much access once it's installed, so that makes that a little bit difficult. Obviously, the intention here is that the hex nuts are kind of locked into the part. I think it would be better that it's less shaped like a bracket and more just filled in with plastic so that you get good support around that hole. Because it's very material efficient, but it makes, I mean, mine's just filled with the support material and I can't get it out. Which means I'm not going to be able to hold that. Once that's on there, I don't think I'm going to get access to those screws to be able to adjust it. Maybe a bit from the side. Should be okay. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. Hold it in the right place and screw the screw into it. So hopefully we can stick our tube in there and then we'll be able to tighten it up. Hopefully that'll work all okay. Some adjustment there. Tighten one of them for now just so it doesn't move. Whoopsie daisy. So I think that's the back half pretty much done. I think all we need now is the extruder and the hot end. So for the extruder, I believe that goes on first and that screws up from the underside. We've got some M3x8 screws. Let's sort out some space. What's stopping that movement forwards? Wow, that's a lot of difference in belt tension. Okay, it's fine. So, these screws in here, with some screws up through there. We need a PTFE tube, don't we? How long doth the PTFE tube be? I should have a spare length of tube nearby. Let's cut this. So first I just want to cut the end off because I've got a ratty end, because this is just a PTFE tube from an old printer that I had for something else. Just a piece of spare tube. So we need to work out how much length from this. So that's how much goes into the hot end. And then we need to work out how much goes into the extruder and then add the two pieces together. So that's the total length, is that piece. Total length should be this piece plus this piece. So now we just line them up and hopefully cut a piece that fits perfectly. If it doesn't stop moving out the way. Fingers crossed, that should work perfectly. So we've got two M3x8 screws that hold the extruder on. Right, okay, that's fine. Then this is going to go on here somehow. So that goes actually coming out kind of forwards. Kind of forwards, or do we want it kind of backwards? I think we want the kind of forwards configuration. Or do we want the kind of backwards? No, I think we're going to need the kind of forwards. Okay. Kind of forwards. This is not the right size, is it? We don't have M3s for this. We have M2.5, I think. 2.5 by 6, 4 of those. So this is going to use an even tinier head, 1.5 millimeters. Oh, Simon, sorry, I missed your chat. I was looking at another bit. Don't forget that hot end plate is 3 millimeters, so add 3 millimeters. Yes, okay, so I need a 3 millimeter. I need to add the length of this to this. So I actually need which one of these was random? Which one was the rats? Basically the same. Got confused now. That was the length I thought was right and will be too short. So I need this plus this. Right, so that slightly forward. Which way around does this plate go? Nope, not that. That. That goes this way. Used by thermal taste 2 between the heatsink and the heat break. Okie dokie, so we've got to take this apart. Yeah, I don't know how. How is best to disassemble this? Just unscrew it? So you want thermal paste on that interface there. I don't think there was, because that's the accessories box, and there's none in there, so I don't think it came with any. I built a PC recently, so I should have some somewhere, but I don't know quite where. Yeah, CPU thermal paste is what I'm looking for. I used to have like a tray with all my PC building stuff in it, but then obviously started printing making loads more printers than I did PCs. And so I rejected that box in favor of organizing things a different way. And now I lose all the things that I need to build PCs. Which fortunately doesn't happen very often anymore. But it does mean I've mislocated the thermal paste. Just trying to think where else I might have such a thing. Big box of Hotends doesn't seem to have any in. How about super glue? Should we use super glue instead? I can find super glue. Oh, sugar. Oh no, I'm not doing Loctite. Yeah, I agree. Thermal paste would be the best. A beast, but I can't find any. I hadn't planned to install it. I didn't know. I'm pretty sure wherever it is, I'm not going to find it. So we'll have to do without for now. Unfortunately. This you can also change how your setup is. I think this is the way it was. Mm. You got any of that boron nitride paste for slice hot ends? That should work. No, I don't think I do. I can have a look. I mean, I've got a big box of hot end stuff, and I had a quick look in it, but I just didn't want to spend 40 minutes looking for hot end paste. Just gets a bit boring and tedious, doesn't it? My stuff is not as organized as it once was. I found that the more organized your stuff is, the more space it takes up. And since I'm low on space, I exchanged space usage for storage efficiency. So I have loads of stuff in a box, but I never know what's in it. Random gold E3D V6. Vz Extruder Pro. Need one of those. A fly pie. Various control boards and hot ends. Ah, funny bone. Ah. Stepper analyzer prototypes. Some gears from a prototype hot end. An LGX light. A slice hot end. Stepper drivers, stepper motors. No, I don't think. This is the other box it could be in. It's a control boards based box, this one. Various duet boards, bunch of LEDs, loads of fans, network fans, filament sensors, more fans, fans, bearings, tiny PTFE tubes, power supplies, switches, cables, small fans, power supplies, tubes, stepper motors, UK plugs. Oh, I think I need. Oh, no, it'll be fine. No, I don't know. I feel like I've made this situation worse by digging through it. It used to fit in that. No, it doesn't. I can't believe I've misplaced it. You know what I've done? I've probably put it somewhere safe so I don't forget where it is. And inevitably, it's so safe that I can't find it. If I was sensible, I'm sure I'd have put it somewhere accessible. Like this drawer would be the perfect place for it. Maybe when I find it next, I'll put it in here. I'm only going to be a few more minutes and then we'll be finishing this stream. Maybe I stop here and we do the hot end next time. And I can try and find some thermal paste in between. I think we'll just get this mounted. And then I'll find some thermal paste between the streams. And we'll get it sorted like first thing next time. Being careful not to over talk the hot end. I think now might be a time to cut this. So we need to somehow fit this fan to this. Whoop. Okay, there's no fans on here. Loctite. Well, I'm going to sort it out better next time, I think. I think we're going to mount it now for display purposes only, because I said I would. N3x6. Oh, is this threaded then? Yes. Oh, but that still didn't fit there, did it? There's no way that's going through there. Ah, it's slightly different. Okay. We need some M3x8s, I think. We've run out of M3x8. Oh, we need the M3x6 bag. Do we have other M3x8s? I think the only M3x8s we've already used. I'll grab some extra ones. We might refine this a little bit next time because I'm not going to mount the fan now either. I wanted to finish by 6 and it's literally 5 minutes away, so. How about that? Let's put a little nozzle in just so we obviously hot tightening or whatever probably needed. Just imagine the fan on the front. There we go. It's ta-da! So we've got this whacking grate tube. Oh, those are stiff, aren't they? Holy bananas. Okie dokie. We'll have to try and get those sorted next time as well. So there's still plenty of things to do. But look how good it looks. Nice and stiff. Obviously, we've got to fix that for the right height and whatever. We can adjust it, whether we want it down a little bit or up a little bit, however we need it. You have the wrong duct. I have the duct I was told to get, but you're right, it does look different to what's on the CAD. This is the one I was told to print. You just got to get that height correct. But that is going to be it for today now. It was a bit of a slow one, wasn't it, maybe? I don't know. Difficult for me to tell. When you haven't got like a perfect manual to go by, things are generally a little bit slower, I think. But the end result looked pretty blooming good. I mean, if I zoom in, it's quite hard to tell, as I said, because it's all in black. You don't get that kind of contrast that you need to make it look extra good. But it looks pretty blooming fantastic. Looks like we should have pretty smooth motion. Everything was looking pretty good. We've got to sort that tension out so we get a nice square gantry and all these sorts of things. Plenty of stuff still to do. We've got panels, we've got electronics. There's lots of the assembly process still to go. But we're making progress, and that is the most important thing. So that is going to be it for today then. We're done. We're moving on. I shall see you all next week. Same time, same place, same channel, same whatever. 3:30 on a Thursday. Well, yeah, 3 p.m. BST. Plan is to continue doing that at the same time every week until we get it done. Hopefully you're enjoying the process so far. I think it's going pretty well. Links down in the description for 235 kit as well as the 330 kit. And don't forget to check out vector3d.co.uk, which is my shop. Because, you know, I sell things on the shop. There's lots of things for various different printers and calibration and tools and all this kinds of stuff. So don't forget to check it out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, happy printing and goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye.